And welcome everyone to Game 4 between RatPoison and Shinigami. Excuse me, as I forgot to put up the scoreboard. RatPoison is up one more. You get to see the fancy starboard that I've been using. I've been having problems casting with my previous setup, so I went back to the way I've been doing it before, which is just a straight up monitor capture. That way you can see things. Anyway, so this matchup we've seen a few times before. Obviously, this is the fourth game in the best of 5, so both players putting up quite a fight. And this map is one that I've not seen actually before. I didn't even have the preview available because I had to download it when I opened the replay. It is called Xeris Prime, and it's a really big 4-player map with a really interesting setup. So you have this natural with a really tiny choke, but also with these backdoor rocks. Then you have a third base with a ridiculously large ramp. I think that's the largest ramp I've ever seen in all of Starcraft. And then after that, you come down into another base that is relatively easy to take. And oh my goodness, I am getting really lots of text messages. I apologize. I'm not actually a popular person, but somehow tonight, every single person that I know is texting me for some reason. Oh, very interesting. So RatPoison going with a very forward placement. Not entirely sure why he is going with... Was that a 9 hatch? 10 hatch? Okay. Destroying all my preconceptions. And is going for the really interesting placement. I guess he wants to get closer. No, I believe that this probably would have been the better choice. You can reinforce more quickly from your own base. However, I'm not the one playing. I don't have to make any of these decisions. I'd like to point out that these new supply depots, they actually have a needle on them. I don't really know what the needle's for. Maybe it's so units can walk by and get stimpacked. Maybe they only become active. That would be pretty cool, actually. Just going to say that. Also, both these players, look at the APM. RatPoison throwing out a huge APM, and there is... Oh my goodness. He's not scouted the base over here. He will notice that as soon as the creep spread gets there. I wonder if this is going to be a proxy. Nope, it's just going to be a delayed scout. He was hiding it and is getting the scout now. He will get to see the spawning pool timing, which is relatively common. It was a 15 pool. It was a 10 hatch 15 pool. So this base will be here, but there will not be an ability for queens. However, there's also not really a threat of any units at this point. He is raising that ramp. He does see the spawning pool. Not really a big issue, though. They're now chasing each other around. Whoa, that Overlord was twitching its new whiskers. Here the drone is going to try to get in, but it will be repelled, perhaps. Nope, instead the Overlord is baiting it out, and this drone is going to retreat, and no one will ever notice that it came or went. This looks like a set of destructible rocks. It is instead not. There's also no expansions here in the middle, which I find a little bit interesting. And the watchtowers are also in kind of awkward places. So it's a very interesting map. Too bad this is not an island. Instead, it's a giant ribcage from some glowing nebulous animal, perhaps from Halo 4. One more shot. He does get it. That will supply block his opponent. So that's actually quite a win. It's also kind of embarrassing to lose your scouting overlords to any units, actually, particularly just one of them. Although, generally, later on in the game, it's really common to see Zerg players wrap the opponent's base with overlords, and then when they think that they're doing something sneaky, they can decide to run in with any of them. So second gas geyser, is going to go down. It's not Spinecrawler back here. Really weird placement on these buildings. I have a feeling that RatPoison perhaps has not played this map before. That's just kind of the vibe I get. We do have enough gas for speed, but no speed yet. Give it his predisposition towards Lings. I would expect to see Lings and more of the same Ling Muta out of him instead of the more common, or maybe not more common, instead of the other option, which is, of course, Roaches. Another gas geyser going down, though. This looks like this could be relatively early Muta play. Both players being very passive. In fact, no units out the map for RatPoison yet. Good move, although if you're going to do that as a Zerg player, you need a little bit better scouting information. He does have this here, but this will not tell him if an army comes out. Luckily, there's no army coming out. We do have this a tech lab. It's going to be a tech lab switch for the starport. Banshees? Please be Banshees. Everyone loves Banshees. He is starting to get a little bit farther out. Lair is almost done. Would not be surprised at all to see a, yeah, especially now with another gas geyser, to see that Spire go down really, really soon. He's starting to amass a few lings. It's starting to feel like, you know, it's 7 minutes in the game. I should probably have something that can shoot. I want to see that Spire, though. So, we do have that Banshee in production. There is no Cloak, though, which means that that will be a little bit less effective. There are the Spore Crawlers. Here's that kind of roughly 8-minute timing that I said in one of my previous games. It's not until right around 8 minutes that you can start to have drops or Banshee play or something like that, which also it actually works the other way around. It's not before 8 minutes or so that you can actually start being attacked by mutas, because this could have been started quite a while ago and was not. So if you feel like you need to throw missile turrets down or cannons in the back of your base very quickly, you don't. It just feels like you do. RatPoison starting to spread his units around. It's amazing. Both of these players going for very, very techie play, and so we're at almost 9 minutes in the game, and we have not yet broken 40 food, and in terms of units lost, there's been exactly 1 lost for each side. So a very different game in comparison to the others. We do have more Banshees. This is not just going to be a single Cloak Banshee go attack. It's going to be a number of them. However, they're plenty prepared here in the natural, not prepared at all in the main. But I don't think it'll matter here soon at all, as we're going to see a whole bunch of mutas come out, as much as he has gas for. So he's going to have 5. Another one on his way just in a minute. Nope. Instead, he spent it on Lings. I was completely and terribly wrong. An expansion going down for Shinigami. I think this is a good time to do that. In fact, generally I'd say that you want to get it down a little bit earlier, but going with this fast of tech to Cloaked Banshees is actually, it puts you back quite a bit economically. He's going to try to sneak his way in. He cannot. He loses a Banshee. The Banshee pilot being very, very sad for her comrade. The Queen's also here to help lend a helping hand. The other thing here is noticing that, okay, now there isn't a Spore Crawler in the main. He is pretty well protected. The Overlord was pushed in and now will be pushed back out. And nothing much else was revealed. He does see the expansion, but he does not know if there's another expansion. He has not checked in quite a while. Now the expansion being brought to the low ground, I wonder if he will continue to produce Banshees. Banshees, excellent harassment, and most people limit them to that role, although they still can be very useful in bigger compositions. Remember, they can shoot down and have a super high DPS. So if you can keep them alive, they're actually quite good in a normal composition in a straight-up fight as well, although they do a little bit more. There we go. I thought I saw something. Those were a lot of Lings that ran in and are going to be taken out by Widow Mines. Bam! Excellent Widow Mine placement. The run-by is a little bit thwarted, losing 14 Lings for nothing. Although it did delay the landing of this expansion, so definitely a good idea there. It was probably worth it, and I think he could be bringing that down. He's just simply not. He's not landing yet. The Banshee here being brought with the army, and it looks like all Starport production has ceased. He does not have any missile turrets in production. That's a little bit risky at this point, actually. Because once again, knowing that his opponent has gone muta so many times, I feel like he would behoove himself to be prepared, especially as it looks like he's preparing to get out on the map. And oh, there's actually not even eBay. He can't even build missile turrets. So with this number, the muta flock is growing. We're approaching muta murder mass, and it looks like he's going to go ahead in. Where is he scanning? Wanting to check to make sure that there's nothing happening there. Those Lings will be taken out post-haste, but now Shinigami is left his main base very vulnerable, and there's actually nothing that can fire against this. There are nothing in this base. There are 2 Marines now that just popped out that will be able to help defend, but now the main army is going to be brought back, not before the mutas get tons of kills in. Now we have Shinigami starting to continue to lose so many of his workers. Look at that. 11 workers lost. And now those Widow Mines, they're burrowing in the not the best place, though. He should be able to kite these back, but instead I think he'll just force them out. That many Marines would take out that number of mutas very quickly. Now Shinigami is supply blocked, and RatPoison is looking to be in a pretty good position. He has twice the economy of his opponent, and does not appear to be relinquishing that at any time here in the future. Some SCVs that had been pulled off, now being sniped off by the mutas. 10 of them, in fact, going down. Will they fly over? Here, it could be 2 big hits. Boom, boom. 2 big, a few really big hits with the mutas and the Widow Mines, but unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. They will regenerate that health. There's nothing else to do that damage, and now that they regenerate health that quickly, there's nothing really that I feel like he can do. And in fact, Shinigami is now saying, forget this. I am going to go counterattack. And looking at the units tab, there's actually nothing. Oh, there are 37 lings, though. There's nothing at home. 37 lings should be able to deal with this, although it's no guarantee. Although there's no Widow Mines there, and that Widow Mines are being left at home. I feel like also the Banshees should be used here. This is going to be a big attack. Units in production. We see a Baneling nest coming up. Seeing those Marines coming out, responding correctly. Surprised there's no expansion down yet. Here come the Marines. They're marching in. There's a huge number of lings here. He's actually just going to completely ignore them. If he engages in this choke, he actually be on a pretty good spot. Hold position. There you go. Excellent placement. The ling's not able to get much surface area at all, and the Marines slaughter them without losing very many, if any, Marines. I'm going to watch this. The Spine Crawler going down immediately. Now they are going to be... Okay, the Marines need to get in a good position again. All the lings coming in one at a time. They will be shot down really quickly, to be honest. A lot of the mutas going down. However, all these Banelings have not been scouted. He does take out the Baneling nest, but not before 7 Banelings have been made. And that, as many Banelings as there are Marines, that's never a good thing. 1 Baneling taking out the majority of the Marines. And there was an attempt at splitting there. Either that or their body parts just decided that they would, in fact, go save themselves. Influence the future correct placement of his Marines. So it was a good counterattack. It did put him behind a little bit, but it mostly just killed the... Oh, no. It didn't just kill... no, it did mostly just kill buildings and army. It did not kill economy. So RatPoison is still very far ahead in this game. Now with these Spine Crawlers being moved farther forward, he does have that expansion going down. He does have this worker here hiding, cowering in the corner. And production, we do have 2 SCVs being produced at a time. And Shinigami has stabilized. He's throwing down a massive number of barracks. Because remember, if you don't have enough Marines to beat the Banelings, you actually just need more Marines to go with your Banelings. He has all these queued up as well. He doesn't want to take that many Marines off of mining. The Banshees now finally being utilized. Ooh, a Nidus network. Oh, Nidus network. Love it. And a hatchery. Forward hatchery being placed. Not necessarily the greatest thing. I don't think he knew about this unit at all, and so this could have been used for the Nidus Worm. I don't think Shinigami ever would have noticed. These cloaked Banshees slowly using up their energy. Like to see him used a little bit. We do have an Overseer somewhere around here. I saw something clicking here. The Overlord's hiding in the corner. Some more mutas. But now with the number of Widow Mines that are out and about, it will be hard to trade cost effectively. The economy lead is still definitely in favor of RatPoison. Also, the food difference is about the same, but I feel like the army size is about the same. I do just feel like RatPoison is in a better position overall. These Banshees will go down immediately, although it should take out that hatchery. Oh, so close. They had enough DPS. They were continuing to whittle it down as it was producing, but was not quite able to get rid of that. Now these mutas, I don't think any mutas have been produced in the last while. 3 hatcheries going down. Where's, oh my goodness, macro hatcheries. Can you say Ling Baneling? That's what I'm going to guess. I think he's going to fill himself up with a ton of supply of Ling Baneling once he has enough larvae. And he will do massive amounts of damage. Here comes the Nidus Worm. We do have 30 Lings in production. A Nidus Worm in production. Where's the reaction? There's no reaction. There's no reaction. He's going to... Okay, excellent. Burrow. Burrow. This will actually... Oh, but the Nidoswarm. It's not... The Widow Mines don't shoot at buildings. Nidoswarms are buildings. And the friendly fire takes out Marines. This is a terrible place for Shinigami to be in. Let's see if he can hold this out. The Marines are on move command. Okay, now they are shooting back. But instead, it looks like there's going to not be near enough units here anywhere nearby. The rally point's still in the wrong position. Combat shield does get stopped. This will be able to be killed off. Passes out, leans over the edge. Nothing he can do. So RatPoison did not make that attack stick. However, it did hurt quite a bit. He lost a few more units, but no economy damage was done. And now Shinigami is catching back up in that worker count. So it's because he killed another worker. So could be interesting seeing where this goes. This hatchery will finish up here soon. And he does have the ability... Oh no, he's just going to get a whole bunch of roaches. I thought he was going to get all these hatcheries, so then he could do something that costs lots of larvae, like lings. But instead, he is just going to do lots and lots of roaches. He's got 24 roaches. Good shot off. Okay, here comes the Nidoswarm. Does he know about it? He doesn't know about it. He doesn't even see it. He has no idea that that is there. And this will be devastating. There are 3 Widow Mines. That'll help soften out the incoming attack. However, I don't think that'll stop. What was it, 26? 24 mutas. And all the lings come out one at a time and soak up all of the available Widow Mine hits. And now the Marines, they are going to be responding, but all of the Marines are way too far away. And it looks like there's not going to be anything that Shinigami is going to be able to do. He does decide to go ahead and counter. Given the amount of time that he's been taking to do this, oh, he's going to run all the way through. That's a really bad engagement angle, actually. The SCV's trying to give some time for his army, but now we'll just see what can happen back home. Where are the lings? There are no lings there. Everything is here. We are on full-on base race mode. He needs to raise that gate if he can and continue. He needs to rally inside the middle of base. All of these units are going to be brought back down. He's going to retreat, because that Nidoswarm's allowed to be here and there almost simultaneously. Look at the concave there. That's going to be exciting. And if Shinigami can engage in this small choke again, whereas instead has a gigantic concave on it, he could actually do really quite well. He has a lot more units. Actually, not more units. It just felt like they were more powerful. All the Banelings, though, are just... Okay, excellent choice. Going to retreat immediately. Does not want to be caught on creep against Banelings. Does get some splitting action going on. I commend you for that, Shinigami. He's going to be returning home. Now, though, he's only got 14 lings, or 14 SCVs. Wow. Some more scanning going down. He needs to continue mining. He doesn't have very much mining going on. There are some more mutas flying around, continuing to be annoying. Here comes the Baneling bust. Oh no. Okay, so the Marines, he is splitting them up. No, he's grouping them all up together. There is another Baneling. He's going to move in and die. He needs to know that this Nidoswarm's here. He still doesn't know about it. He somehow doesn't notice that is what is going on. I guess he does. He just simply was not able to take it out. He's going to be going for that counterattack again. But remember, the Nidoswarm lets him be here and then there within a matter of seconds. All these units here ignoring these mining units. The mules trying their best to provide income. He is now, as he set his rally points, they are at least inside the base, so they will be a little bit safer there. We do have a little bit of a skirmish coming up right here, but I don't feel like this is end up going well for Shinigami. He's now lost that wall. His Marines have no place to hide. They do outrange the roaches, but when the roaches can crawl right up on top of you, it's just not going to work out. We are in full-on base race. 8 harvesters, but the bank of RatPoison is smaller, but he's got a much larger army count, and I feel like, in terms of a race, actually, it won't be able to take out enough stuff. He does have a little bit of ability to run and hide with all of his buildings. However, I just don't think it's going to work out. There should be enough units being spawned back here at home to defend once his units get here, and he can simply take that Nidoswarm and go right back home, and he will be defending from right here. Watching this out. Eggs are also not important things to kill. Does micro a little bit against the broodlings. Broodlings are actually really annoying, especially when you get later on into the game or when you have almost nothing. That's right, when you have very low unit count, broodlings become a significant problem. I remember watching some of Day 9's closest game ever casts, and there's one where the Zerg player ended up killing his own building to get the broodlings to kill the last zealot. So it looks like Shinigami putting up a good fight, seeing all those units taking out his Marines. He has left the game, and the Marines just stand there and die. So an excellent matchup, and but it looks like RatPoison gaining the advantage and will be moving on to the semifinals, while Shinigami will be knocked down to the losers bracket. So thank you everyone for the excellent games, and good luck as you continue on in the tournament.